And you're just in time for yet another informative, insightful, and of course, entertaining kinda edition of Siasa Brigade, your number one show on matters political analysis, checking in there how your leaders are governing this country in whatever jurisdiction they were voted into office in. And I'm yours truly, Richard Mwenja. Indeed, always a pleasure to have you on board. Of course, today we are going to look at a cocktail of issues emerging in the world of politics. But before that, allow me to introduce, of course, East Africa's top political analyst and public scholar. Today, donning a very colorful black shirt. Herman, great to see you.
Thank you, Richard.
It is actually Herman Manyora from Vihiga's finest export, you say?
No. I'm just from Vihiga, that's all. A poor boy from the village, a place called Lombay.
Who rose to become a presidential advisor in this country?
No. Who may become president? That's the bigger thing you should talk about.
You have enough billions for the campaigns?
I don't need billions. Kenyans will put him in State House.
Without the money?
They'll give me the money.
Not proceeds of crime? I see. Very well. We wait for that day to actually come. It's drawing closer by the day. We're already in 2023. Just 2 more years to go.
Yes.
Very well. Let's look at a number of emerging issues in the world of politics, a cocktail of them, but first, on matters to do with Kenyans who are having a school of thought that these are government of excuses. If you go back in time, in 2002, Mwai Kibaki inherited the government from the former president, the now late Daniel Toroitich arap Moi, and many thought Moi's government was one that had been dilapidated, brought down to the ruins, under development, but Kibaki made so less fuss about it. Never complained as much, picked the nation from where it was and hit the ground running. Same case was observed in 2013 when Uhuru picked government from Mwai Kibaki. But this time round, many people are picking issue with Ruto's government and Rigathi Gachagua. They call it a government of excuses and blames. Are they just trying to blame that they found the coffers looted to the last coin and the country was actually in the hands of cats and dogs?
No. If you are a man looking for a wife to marry and you marry a huge girl, then you get out in the morning and complain to your mother, she's too big. Your mother will slap you. When you take over government, you know what you are taking over. I mean, they are what we call other runs, wannabes. You know, people like who have wanted to be president and they cannot be president. But a man who has a very realistic chance of becoming president, when you offer yourself, you must know the country you are about to take over. You cannot wait to get some. You look inside, oh, only 93 million. That is laughable. People can be very annoyed with you.
But probably they are just trying to say they were not part of that government. They had been shielded away by the likes of Matiang'i and
I was not anywhere near them, but I knew the state of the economy. What they did, I didn't know myself. I wasn't running for office of president. If I'm made president next week, is there anything that will surprise me about being president or about the state of the economy? I know. I know what Kenya is going through. I know the challenges, all of them. The others, I'll use experts.
Are you trying to say regarding Gachagua and the president?
That is the problem. I mean, how would they not have known what the country was? When Kibaki was taking over, Kenya had negative growth. So did he have to go there to know that? We were collecting a miserable 200 billion in taxes. Did Kibaki need to become president to know that?
Or go to public venues to address the same?
If you become President Ruto in 2022, do you need to become president to know that we are under collecting our taxes? And burdening the wrong people in tax collection? Do you need to become president? No. Did you need to become president to know our debt burden? Which, by the way, they are now increasing, contrary to what they said.
Yeah.
No, they are not convincing.
Then that somewhat means you're signaling that probably they chewed more than they could bite. Is that so?
I think.
We at Nairobi Review appreciate the support you have given Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. Through your financial support, we've been able to reach millions of Kenyans and produce quality content every single day. It hasn't been easy, and therefore we appreciate you for subscribing, sharing, and watching us every single day. Whether you're a long-term fan or just discovering this YouTube channel, your financial support can make a huge difference. You can M-Pesa us via 0768 074 076 or use till number 964 4543. That is 0768 074 076 or M-Pesa till number 964 4543. We highly appreciate your support.
They are making people believe they were not prepared to govern, and that governing is way above their weight. That's the impression they are creating. Because you're given something, you married a girl, pambana na hiyo hali yako, watu watote waone mama akifuata ukuta, msichana ya watu. When your mother sees your wife going around the house in the village, she knows, yes, sir, I have a man in this compound. 9 months later,
The results are out.
yes, but now you begin to complain the following morning to your mother.
7 months in.
She'll be a very worried mother. You wanted to become president. You are president. Don't drive with your eyes in the rear view. Uangalia nyuma. Focus on the problems. They are by no means easy problems we have in this country.
True.
These are daunting challenges. We don't have simple, cheap problems. They are complex problems in this country. And solving them is not easy. And they are caused by a number of factors, including the mess from perhaps the last regime. But there are bigger things that are responsible. Then there is so much you can do to change the situation. If Kenyans are going to bed hungry, China, I was reading somewhere, China had, I can't remember when, but let me just talk about the rough estimates of the head. In some years back, was it 10, 20, 15, I can't remember the year, but you can check. China had over 100 million people living below $1 a day. It is given in their currency yuan per year, and it translates to $366 per year, which basically means $1 per, which is the World Bank standards of poverty. Today, not even one of them.
What?
That's how countries plan things and work on them. Sometimes back, China said they were going to eradicate malaria by the year 1987 or something, I can't remember.
Whereabout?
And they did it. You will always take over power and you will always meet challenges. You come up with measures to meet those challenges in the interest of your people, so that when your time to exit comes, people can say, hey, Kibaki gave us free education.
He tried his best.
Yes, he gave us CDF. Uhuru gave us infrastructure. Uhuru gave us the digital platforms we are using to run government. Ruto should look for something people remember him for. People will not remember Rigathi Gachagua for saying he's the son of Mau Mau.
Or bringing
For bringing Ruto in every conversation.
or religion
Or
closer.
Raila. Or for organizing prayers. No. People remember them for the good things they will do. And there's plenty they can do. And I'm sure they are well-intentioned people. They are good people.
They have
Ruto is a
advisors.
good person. Me, I've talked to Ruto, I know. He's a clever, smart, well-intentioned, well-meaning person.
Independent thinker?
Yeah, there are very few people who can think like Ruto. This is honest. What Ruto and Gachagua should do is to concentrate on the job at hand. They should have no time for Raila Odinga and the rest. Except that now they have pushed themselves to a point where Raila is on the table every day, wherever they are.
The conversation.
In church, Raila will be mentioned more times than God. You see, that's why they have pushed themselves. And now Mandamano is here with them.
20th March is fast approaching.
Destiny. A debt with,
Destiny.
and they have brought it to themselves. I wish even the remaining time, seize the moment, do for the people of Kenya what needs to be done. Even people will tell Raila, please, patia Ruto na Gachagua time. 5 years is a short time. Let them work. Let's meet in 2027. If you want to stand, stand. If you want to support Kalonzo Musyoka or Bada Karua, go ahead.
Very well put, sir. You've gone on record here on this platform and said, as a father, just like you are, you don't walk into your home and wearing gloom and doom and sadness and probably a sign of impending danger before your children and family. The president is is a figure of national unity, and he has a role to inspire the nation and give them hope, no matter how challenging the situation is in the country. When he and his counterpart, the deputy president, are going to make these excuses of where they have got the country at, dilapidated, very poor, and we have issues left, right, and center. How do you think that sits in the mind of every Kenyan who is looking up to Ruto for inspiration and for some hope? But seemingly there isn't light at the end of the tunnel. In the fullness of time, what danger can this portend?
This country has a problem in many areas, but one fundamental area is in the area of hope. The leadership is wearing despair on their faces, and the children cannot have hope for tomorrow, even for the day.
Crestfallen.
Everywhere you look, there is a state of hopelessness. Not in the attempt to fight the bandits, the government is failing. Not in the cost of living.
Employment.
Not in managing politics. Not in state of unemployment. Not in education. There is simply no hope in this country. And yet it is so simple to give people hope.
Where do you start?
Give people hope by playing the right politics. People just want to see the president telling Raila, there is so much that divides us, you and I, because we are competitors. But because we are Kenya, there's so much we share in common. Let's sit down and talk about what we share in common and scratch a bit on what separates us. And then sit down with your experts and say, okay, it's difficult for us to continue in this way. We shall have to lower the price of unga. And these are the strategies we're employing. The last government tried, they didn't succeed very well because of these challenges. We shall now deal with those challenges so that the 100 shilling unga itafikia watu. Here is fertilizer we are giving you. It will reach people. Gachagua was saying last week or this week, but I want to plant myself my miserable 1 acre. There is no fertilizer, it's not there. Let anybody from the ministry come and challenge me where I come from. The fertilizer has not reached. Rains are there. People are now buying fertilizer. By the time fertilizer reaches in my place, everybody will have planted using the commercial fertilizer. So there's so much they can do to lower the price of diesel, electricity, petrol, and all that kind of thing.
And water penetration.
And then this country will be given hope. There's one topic I will keep repeating. This country today is in a state where school fees must be waived. Otherwise, 10, 15 years we will pay for it.
In the fullness of time.
Kenyan children who are going to drop out of school because now, what will you be using the little money you have for food or on fees?
Even with the 100% transition.
Yes. They are going to the villages chasing children to go to school. Even uniform alone. This class 7, which they are calling grade 7, junior high school.
Junior high school.
I have a grandson I'm handling. A granddaughter, sorry. Camilla. The mother passed on. My daughter-in-law. She's an orphan. The kind of things they're asking for her in the village, because I could not bring her to Nairobi, she stays with my sister, the aunt.
At
the
junior
village.
secondary?
Junior.
Come on.
So if the government and the leadership of this country doesn't listen to me, that we are at a point we must waive fees across board up to university, we will pay for it. One, high levels of illiteracy that will be reversing the gains we have made. That this is a country that is achieving levels of literacy that can rival America. We will reverse all that, number one. Number two, we are going to create a pool of disillusioned school, college dropouts that are very bitter. You know, it's one thing for a person to miss to go to university. Watatosheka na ile kazi yao wanafanya wakiwa form 4. It is an entirely different thing for somebody to test university for 2 years and then go home because they could not manage fees. That is a very bitter Kenyan, perhaps with a brain.
Of betrayal.
When you have an army of such a people, 10, 15, 5 years from now, we will look back and say, I wish we listened to Manyora. This is not the time to charge fees to Kenyan children. Government must find a way of completely waiving fees, suspending until the economy improves. We will get back to there. Of course, they can work out the details of how to do it. It may not even be blanket. Other countries, even like Uganda, have done it. You can do it in a way it is not blanket, okay? But we should not allow ourselves to have an army of young men and women spilling into the streets because they could not finish their education. It's dangerous to the country. So I'm saying this,
Give hope.
in matters of hope, this country must give Kenyans hope through their leader.
And within desired time.
And that leader is William Samoei Ruto, deputized by
Rigathi
Gachagua. They must give hope to Kenyans because it has disappeared and it is dangerous. Man minus hope is a dangerous animal.
Very well. Nicely put there by Herman Manyora. Before we conclude this conversation, if you look at developing countries and who have got their governance structure rightly put into place, the president oftentimes would understand that the problem in his administration lies deeply within every fiber of, say, his political appointments, the civil society, the media, his relation with the media, and everything that touches on his administration. This far, do you think Rigathi, Gachagua, and Ruto more so find the enemy of the administration being in the lives of their predecessors, Uhuru Kenyatta and some say Raila Odinga, other than the people they have now appointed to serve Kenyans and all these kind of developments?
I saw a tweet from somebody. Was it Grandemol?
Aaron Cheriot.
No. It was the picture of Aaron Cheriot was there. No, it was not a tweet. It was an article by Mashara Gaida, I think, in The Nation. He said, Mr. President, don't look for your enemies in Raila Odinga or Uhuru Kenyatta. They are right there with you, the people you have appointed.
I can read it loud. It says, what President Ruto must now recognize is that the enemy is not in his predecessor,
Yes,
Uhuru Kenyatta, opposition leader Raila Odinga, media, civil society, banks, human rights campaigners, or any other external actors. The enemy is embedded deep within every fiber and being of his administration. The enemy is in appointees, hirelings, political partners, and a whole army of sycophants who dare not tell the king that he is naked.
That's where the enemy is found. In people who are not sensitive. In people whose utterances are reminding Kenyans of a time past. You get it? Or people who take every opportunity to rub salt into the injury of Kenyans. And finally, or people who are inept, completely incapable of doing anything, and yet have been assigned serious roles that should help the president navigate through these rough times. The sea is rough. You need the best hands on the deck. You can't just go anywhere and find somebody dancing nicely like some minister is doing, and because some girl is dancing very well, patia kazi. This is not the time. The time can come. Actually, let me tell you what. The president can navigate this country to a point when he takes over his second term. Things will have smoothened so well. And maybe the world will have ridden beyond this turbulence and settled. Now the president can afford to reward his cronies. Not because he's not contesting again, but because he has settled things so well. Just about anybody can be in the driver's seat.
Yes,
because he has automated everything.
Flattened the mountain.
And they automated, mechanized everything.
But for now, he's blinded to see those sycophants and all those people he has appointed.
Tribalists.
Political
people
rewards.
who never imagined there could be anything in life, but now they can't even be. The problem with giving somebody a big thing that is too big for him is that not believing where they are is responsible for a lot of mess.
And they only realize when it's way too late.
Right.
Very well. A good point to wrap up this conversation today on Siasa Brigade. Of course, your go-to point for political analysis and matters that touch on the general governance of this country. We don't take you for granted, and thank you so much for tuning in to our other editions, especially our live broadcast with Jadil Kabiro, Evans Okinyi, and of course yours truly in here. Also a good reminder that we go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7:30 p.m. You don't want to miss out on those informative conversations that will help you become a better patriot at heart and also a better leader who will serve Kenyans with the best interest at heart. Until next time on Siasa Brigade, my name is Richard Mwenjo. Always a pleasure.